living longer than ever before. However, that means we're more prone to critical illness. That could be cancer, stroke, even a heart attack. While most will survive and go on to lead a healthy, longer life, the question is, how will you survive financially after an episode?
That's right. Critical illness planning specialist Dennis Rinner. He's here with an option to keep you truly covered for what could come. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think that's the one reason people really want insurance is for that, God forbid, critical illness that is to come. And I know that this critical illness insurance, it's a very affordable option. It's huge overseas, and we're just kind of getting a taste of it here in the U.S. Well, what exactly is it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, the idea behind a critical illness policy is that if you were diagnosed with a covered condition in the policy, such as cancer, heart attack, or stroke, the policy is going to pay out a lump sum benefit or a monthly cash benefit. And the nice thing is that we're not being reimbursed by an insurance company, so when you get the cash, you're free to use this money for any purpose, whether it's medical related or whether it's non-medical related.
So if it's bills, like if you're out of work, you can...
Out of work, non-medical things like out of work, the loss of income, that hurts folks, and as well as helping with the mortgage or perhaps utilities, or maybe you had a child that's in college and you still have to make that tuition payment. So things like that are things that we don't think about when an event happens.
And this is a very important subject right now because healthcare is huge and people are trying to get jobs and the economy is still not back in shape.
Absolutely. The idea behind this insurance, as I indicated, I think the real reason why it's so important today is healthcare reform is a big part of it. Health insurance is no longer doing what it used to. Premiums continue to go up. Deductibles are going up in a large fashion, as well as just your co-pays. And some things like experimental treatments, and maybe it's an out-of-network doctor that you need for a specialist, aren't going to be covered by your health insurance.
Absolutely. Now, I understand that this has a really personal relevance to you, right?
Oh, it really does. I think everyone probably has a story, whether it's something that's happened to them personally or someone that they've known. And for me, it was actually both. Many, many years ago, I lost a very close friend. In fact, my best friend. He passed away of leukemia. He lost that battle, and he was only 40 years of age.
Wow.
And at the time, my wife and I, with 3 young children, ages 4, 8, and 12, you start taking inventory. You look at your own life, and your mortality begins to kind of look back at you. And I said, "Gee, I don't have enough life insurance," and so I went out and purchased an additional amount of coverage, $1 million, in fact, and thought I was in pretty good health, so I got preferred rates. And what came next that I'm going to share with you is really what I think saved my life. Sean, I like to play basketball. I sometimes think I'm probably still can play, and
probably beat me.
Well, I was playing and actually got hit in the cheek. Not just hit, knocked to the ground.
Wow.
And I didn't think much of it, but I kind of felt like I had this gumball that was like lodged in my cheek, and so I went in to see the doctor, and actually it was on the advice of my dentist, who was also one of my fellow weekend warrior players. And he says, "No, go in and get checked out." And a biopsy revealed that I actually had cancer of the salivary glands.
No kidding. Wow.
Don't smoke, never smoked. Don't chew tobacco. And
that was the best flagrant foul that had ever been committed ever.
Well, exactly. Yeah. And I did tell you. What I didn't tell you is that it is a little competitive out there.
Yeah,
and so, and what happened next was I had to have a 7-hour surgery to remove the tumor, and having not had that, if it had gone undetected, this was a type of tumor that was progressive in nature that could have actually broken down and went into my bloodstream and would have been fatal. And so, I had plenty of life insurance. And, I had really good health insurance because it paid for the hospital bills and it paid for the surgery. But, recovery took time, and there was a cost there. I was not working, and
and that's why this coverage is so important.
Exactly. People are surviving, but they're surviving with consequences, and they're not back to work the next day.
You really need to get this type of insurance before something happens, and that way when something happens to you, you're not thinking, I should have or I could have, and to plan ahead is what you're saying.
Absolutely. I think as you opened up the segment talking about, it's really about planning. It's about educating yourself. And I think the reality is that most of us never think it's going to happen to us.
Yeah.
You know, you might think that you're doing all the right things, and I thought I was doing all the right things. And when you hear cancer, I don't care who you are, that scares the heck out of you. And especially when you start thinking about your family and how you're going to make ends meet, it can be a challenging time.
Well, it's an affordable option. It's an option that everyone should look at. We're actually looking at what COPE rather means to you. What does COPE mean to you?
Well, you know, I think the most important thing is that the insurance can help you cope with the unexpected, and it can get you through that. It doesn't mean it's going to make it better. What I went through, if critical illness would have been on the scene, as you said, it wasn't, but had it been available, you know, that recovery,
Take a little pressure off of you.
pressure, reconstruction surgery. I mean, there's costs that you just don't think of, and so, you know, looking into this as far as being able to calculate what amount of benefit, it's very affordable. Your age and health factor into it as well.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
you for having
and
me
thank
in.
goodness for your dentist.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Thank goodness for whoever threw that elbow.
That's it. I thank him every day.
You got to learn more about critical illness insurance. You might not have heard of it, but you can learn more by downloading their free e-brochure, Surviving Critical Illness Financially.
American Independent Marketing created criticallylnesseducation.org. For more information, just head to that website or call the number you see on your screen.
Still to come on the Morning Blend.